Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I definitely should start off by saying, yes, I always sound this way. I have not been having a wild one here in London, in case you were wondering. But I thought today what we could kick off and get started with is just going through what you're going to be hearing from myself and my colleague and some customers of ours. First, I'll share some of the foundational steps about what it means to bring together your customer and marketing data to Google Cloud and move towards a data-driven, customer-centric organization. And then my colleague Atul will take us through how those foundational steps really work hand in hand with our Cloud for Marketing console. And then we'll be hearing from members from Rituals and Waitrose who will share some of the success that they're having today using Google Cloud. My name is Kimberly Kelly. I have been at Google for 3.5 years. And throughout my entire career here, as well as in previous companies, I've been working with enterprises to really help them digitally transform their tools and teams using cloud. And specifically, really helping organizations have data be their #1 asset in order to develop and understand deep relationships and understanding their customers. And today I'll share a little bit of how we're helping IT and marketing teams accelerate digital transformation within their organization to be data-driven, customer-centric, by starting with marketing and customer data on the cloud. But why do we care? We care because the opportunity is quite large. In fact, brands that are customer-centric achieve and bring in 5 times more revenue than their competitors. And this really starts by using the data you have today within your own organizations. However, the challenge is that most companies struggle with this. And in fact, only 13% of organizations feel like they're making the most out of their available customer data today. And the reason is that data, and really marketing and customer data, is spread across many different places. So if you take a moment and think about all of the tools that your marketing teams use, marketing automation, marketing clouds, and then think about all of the different sales tools you have access to, CRM, maybe your call center, customer service, the list is really long. And then you want to factor in all of the rich offline data you have, product data, additional app data. They're all in different systems and do not talk to each other, which presents a challenge. It creates silos and makes it difficult to be customer-centric and create those amazing experiences that we all expect today. And while organizations want to access more of their data and be customer-centric, it can be quite hard. And it's not just hard for marketing teams who want to tap into analytics and get a better understanding of customer activities, but it's really hard for data and IT teams to provide them with those real-time insights quickly. And after talking with enterprises around the world, we've discovered that leaders struggle to achieve these digital transformations because legacy data warehouses or legacy tools really struggle to address the modern challenges that we're all faced with today, especially as data explodes, and especially with the amount of touch points your customers have with your company. It becomes difficult to scale with performance issues. It creates data silos like the ones I just mentioned. And sometimes it can take days to weeks to provide your marketing and business teams with the insights they need to make decisions. It's also very difficult to do things like sophisticated machine learning with predictive insights. And it lacks the ability to activate back into those marketing channels that your teams use today once you finally get those insights. And what you see here is really nothing new. But while competition is very fierce, companies need to address these challenges to meet their customers where they are today. And Google Cloud enables organizations to really do these large-scale digital transformations with smart analytics, BigQuery, which is really at the core of how we solve this problem, helps teams with a highly scalable enterprise data warehouse. It's a fully managed serverless platform that offers real-time insights. And BigQuery has built-in machine learning, so your marketing teams or your customer and sales teams can focus on acquiring, growing, and retaining your customers faster. And it's really designed to make the roles of data scientists and data analysts more productive. It's secure with data encryption by default. And it helps reduce those trade-offs you may be making today on legacy tools. So you can experiment faster, you can deploy quicker, you can deploy maybe double or triple more features in a shorter period of time than before. And it gives your business users self-service insights when they need it with Google's best-in-class machine learning. And later, Atul, my colleague, will talk you through how we're going further with this to make it easier for you and your teams to activate on the insights through our Cloud for Marketing console. And some of the advantages that we're seeing with a marketing data warehouse is that cloud becomes the self-service asset to various teams across the business, from marketing, customer teams, creative teams, sales teams, and really accelerates the decisions they make about where and what types of changes there should be in the campaigns, or what type of creative should you change to attract more eyeballs, or how do you interact with your customers online through your chatbots, or even when you see them in the store. So we truly believe that in order to get that deep understanding of who your customers are, it's about centralizing your data to answer those tough questions, leveraging Google's AI. So that ultimately your teams can understand where your customers are in their journey with you. And you can eventually see what type of predictions are needed to anticipate what is the next thing your customer needs. What product are they likely to buy? Or what type of content should they see in your email marketing campaign? And then you can also create these amazing customer experiences that transform interactions at every single touch point. Think about your phone, how many times you touch an app, or go visit your favorite website, or go and search something or a product that you need. It truly allows you to get the right insights when your teams need them, make the predictions so that you can make changes in real time, and ultimately create the experiences that we're all asking for today. But we do know and we recognize that digital transformation in all businesses can be complex. And there's always a long list of requirements when it comes to digital transformation. A lot of times it's about change management and bringing together IT, data, and marketing teams to figure out what is a strategic motivator of how we're going to all collaborate together. But what we provide, and even while Google Cloud, we do support you throughout this entire journey. So if you were to do a massive migration from something like Teradata or SYNTASA to Google Cloud, we provide you with the tools and solutions to help you do that. But in this scaled approach, where you start is with marketing and customer data, so that you can use things like our native connectors to bring in your Google Ads products onto Google Cloud, and pre-built connectors to bring in the rest of your marketing products. Maybe you use Adobe today, or you're using Salesforce, or perhaps you want to bring in public data, weather, social data. It's really about understanding what is important to you initially, and what data sources can help you accomplish and solve for some of your problems. And at the same time, our solution allows you to collect petabytes of data in real time, while also providing you with the right tools to transform, analyze, and store your data so you can deliver real-time insights to your teams. And leverage Google's ML and AI, so if you wanted to do something like TensorFlow to SQL, we want to meet you where you are, so you have options to do any type of modeling that you need to do. And after that point, you can continue to visualize and analyze, and ultimately activate back into the marketing channels that are important to your teams. So how do we try and make this easy, at least to get started? What we've done is we've spoken with leaders around the world across different industries to understand what are the key problems that we're hearing over and over again. And we've turned them into solutions that are prepackaged for you, so that if you wanted to get started and get an understanding of what it would mean to collect some of these marketing and customer data points, to analyze and transform them, to then activate, we highly recommend starting with one of these use cases. And a little later, you hear from Rituals and Waitrose on some of the success that they've been having. But since we've launched these use cases, we've seen success across many verticals around the world. So I definitely encourage you to come talk to us after today's session, or reach out to your cloud team if you wanted to get some more information. And as a next step, we also recommend a collaborative plan, meaning bringing together marketing and IT, and having a 4-step process to get started, so that you can first gain an executive alignment on your strategic goals and desired outcomes. Second, assess the customer behaviors that you want to anticipate. Third, identify the best sources of insight that you have across all of your touch points with your customers today, to then pick one part of the customer experience that you want to start transforming first. We find that this formula allows you to then use a framework that sets you up for success, because you can continue to add additional data sources, you continue to use additional machine learning, easily scale that, and activate in more places with other teams. So it's truly a collaboration across different teams within an organization. And lastly, we have a network of partners who are there to help you every step of the way, so that you can create the right roadmap, which is a phased approach on what success means to your business. They range from service and technology partners, and are really there to work hand in hand with you and accelerate your time to value. And now I would like to introduce Atul, our product director, who will be taking us through our Cloud for Marketing console.
Thank you, Kelly. All right, so when I'm excited, I tend to choke, so my water bottle here. So a little bit about myself. I joined Google about 10 months ago. Prior to that, I spent almost 2 decades working with marketers on marketing solutions at various companies. At Google, I spend a lot of my time working with customers like you, understanding your challenges, your business needs, and your aspirations to become a customer-centric organization. Today, I'll be sharing our solution for marketing use cases that Kimberly discussed earlier. So Cloud for Marketing console is our first step in helping our customers solve marketing use cases faster, easier, and smarter on Google Cloud Platform. When you open the console in your project, in the console in the GCP, as a user, you would see some of these things. For example, templated queries. Templated queries makes it easier to analyze the large volume of the data and get the insights faster. Predictive models help you understand and predict customer behaviors and predict the business outcomes. We have created several dashboards to visualize the output and the results from your predictive models, as well as from your templated queries. And these are simple links that somebody in the console can get to and start analyzing the data instead of spending time creating the dashboards. And finally, the activations helps you take all the insights that you get from your predictive models and from your queries to send that to your favorite MarTech systems that you want to use to activate those insights. We have simplified the manual upload process for getting the data into BigQuery by offering you simple-to-use tools and step-by-step instructions within the console itself, making it very easy and faster to get your data from outside as well as from the GA360 by using the DTS transfer service. Managing all your data sets, whether it is marketing or others, is really simpler because we provide you built-in auto tagging and access controls to manage your data. Moreover, we have created a universal schema that you can use to transform your web analytics data, whether the web analytics comes from GA360 or it comes from Adobe Web Analytics. And once you transform that data, you can use them in your predictive models as well as in your queries very, very easily. And most importantly, we made it very simple for you to manage the privacy and the security at the column level. And you can actually take any sensitive data or your PII data and turn on the column level security and whitelist the users that have access to that data. So for example, if you have profits or margins or some sort of sensitive data, and not everybody has a need to access that, you can just turn it on and whitelist the users that need access for the data from the same group of tables. And finally, the console provides smarter insights about your customer and the products, leveraging the same models that power Google products. You can use pre-built models for predictive lifetime value and forecasting demand using the simple UI, and no coding is needed. The demand forecasting model that we have offered in this console is the same model that Google products use for forecasting the demand for ad and search trends. And this is now available to you through the console in GCP. We worked with many of you, and you have guided us to build solutions that helps integrate your business workflows in this. For example, customizable ML models. You could simply take a churn prediction model if that's what you wanted to do, and use your own data to customize these machine learning models. But just having the models results is not enough. You want to act on them. So one thing that we have heard loud and clear is really the last mile, which is, OK, now I have the model results. How do I activate it? How do I make it simpler for my colleagues to use this data to do, for example, create customer segments for your marketing campaigns? And once you have customer segments, you still have to act on it. So for example, if you wanted to act on it using Google Ads or Salesforce Marketing Cloud, we would be offering you a very easy way to do this. We are excited to build these flexible solutions to make it easier and faster to do smarter things and integrate with your existing workflows. Thank you all, and let me invite back Kimberly again to introduce our customer speakers.
Thank you so much, Atul. That was great. Now I would like to invite Amber from Rituals, who I will not ruin her last name. I'll let her say her own Dutch name on her own.
Thank you.
Amber, please join us.
Thank you. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amber Grubben. I'm actually Dutch, so it's just Rituals, which is the company I'm representing today. For the people who don't know Rituals, Rituals is a Dutch brand founded in the year 2000 in the Netherlands, and currently operating mostly in Europe, but also in the US, and we're, as we speak, moving to Asia too. We are selling our products via our own retail and e-commerce channels, but also via a lot of wholesale and travel partners. Like one of the biggest challenges, and like it's a challenge but also a blast, is that we are growing fast. And with fast, I mean like 25% overall, and even more for specific new markets and specific lines of business. And in order to maintain that growth and keep up with it, we have to do things smarter because resources don't grow accordingly. Resources like budget and the time of people. And one of the things we do to maintain this growth is to improve our marketing. And with improving marketing, I mean on the one hand, like improving the customer journey, like the relevance for the customer, but on the other hand, also improving our workload efficiency. Like to get the same results with actually less work. So with this in mind, for the last 3 years, we've been working on improving our online marketing from like siloed media, so all channels operating independently from each other, all the way up to like a full strategy, including marketing automation and predictive marketing. When talking about automation and predictive analytics, I'm obviously talking about data and AI. And this is how our landscape looks like in the simplified version. Like we have data, we have models, and we have activation channels. When I talk about our data, I mean our customer information, like profile information of gender and birthday, if customers like to reveal that to us. But also order information, which is the online orders. But in the countries where we have CRM programs, like the UK, it's also retail orders we can stitch. And we also have multiple online behavioral data sets available on customer level. With this data, we've been building multiple models, and here are some examples of them. Product recommendation model speaks for itself what it does. A conversion intent model, which predicts for the upcoming 7 days the likelihood of an individual to purchase something. Right timing model, so when we didn't see someone for a while, when should we reactivate this person, like after 2 weeks, after 2 months? Other example is revenue intent. How much is this customer going to spend in his next orders? What kind of promotion can we attach to that? And newsletter opt-out intent. So when we send someone a newsletter, how likely will this person unsubscribe from our database, which we're building with a lot of effort? These are some examples, and they can be activated in some or in all channels, like website and app or platforms, but also in our email channel or Facebook, and in the Google marketing platform channels like AdWords and Display. So this is how it looks on the simplified version, and I can explain this to my management, but actually it looks like this, which is also why I'm here today. I'm not going to talk you through the technical details, but I think one of the things I would like to tell you is it is so convenient to have all your data in one place. Because actually in BigQuery, we have all this data accessible, and with that also we have built semantic layers, so there are no discussions anymore about definitions or how much revenue we actually had yesterday, including and without including VAT and stuff like that. Another thing, what's the takeaway from this slide, is we are also doing all our predictive analytics in the cloud with CloudML. And besides advantages of like the ease of use, also in this world where GDPR is growing, or GDPR in Europe, it's a big advantage because your data doesn't go anywhere, it stays in there. And from CloudML, we are pushing these endpoints. So for example, the product recommendation endpoint looks like a customer number with all the products we have ordered in the right way for this individual. We can push that via the data layer to the right platforms or via App Engine, also to Selligent, which is our email tool. And also, you can see the dotted line looping back to BigQuery, because when we have also the endpoints pushed back to the central point, we can use this for manually pushed segments and for reporting, for monitoring this. So now I told you like where we came from and our technical status. I would like to talk with you through 2 use cases, one about customer relevance and one about efficiency. First one is efficiency. So we ask ourselves, like, we have ambitions when it comes to more turnover, but advertising spend, in this case for display, doesn't grow accordingly. So who should we actually target? So we developed this model which actually gives us an output for each individual, your conversion probability, being high, medium, waste, or low, or lower waste. And actually, like the first time we launched this model, results were really bad. But we had to iterate and make it better. We A/B tested, for example, existing AI offered by Google, and eventually we outperformed the conversion probability offered in Google Analytics. And in the last test we did, with only 8% overspend, we reached 21% of the conversions. So now actually we are only having our bidding strategy set on these people. Other example about improving the customer journey is our product recommendation model. Actually, the slide in the middle, the default is if you would go to our bestseller page, what you would see at this point. This is a static list of our best sellers, or the products we would like to tell you are the best sellers. And it's the same for everyone. However, soon, you will see what's actually for you on the right, which is the personalized products for me last week. You can see there are still some layout issues, but we are fixing them, and soon this will be put live. What I believe is when the results turn out good, we can put this in all our product grids on the site, in the app, and in advertisement to serve customers the right products to make it easier for them to find what they are looking for. So, looking at the future, I think, like obviously, everyone wants to collect more data, analyze more data, make more models, and more activation. But if you would prioritize this, and this is actually in line with what Achille just mentioned, like for me, for next year, like we have all these models, like getting them more activated is key. And what I mean with activation is really use the models in every place where we can like use it. Because, for example, what we are noticing is that we are putting a model live, and marketeers see what it does and how it works. It also inspires them to come up with new ideas. For example, we were trying to activate this conversion intent model also in our email channel because we saw how successful it was for display. So in order to reduce the emails we send, like only target like the best people. But then from the email team, we got back that, no, we actually want to avoid sending emails like to the lowest people, like our biggest people unsubscribing. It's not like we don't care if we send 1,000 emails or 100,000 emails, there's no cost reduction. So key is activated to get more people inspired to make your company more data-driven. Other thing what's high in my list is when it comes to analyzing, I really would like not only the data analysts to analyze the data, but empower also, for example, the marketeers to be able to do this. And yeah, you can set up reporting, but let's face it, like the data analysts at Waitrose get very often requests like, hey, can you make like a small segment for me of people who purchased something last week so we can target them? I would like the marketeers to do this themselves. So like drag and drop a segment, see whether it's relevant, whether it's big enough, and also push it towards the right channel. At this point, we are looking with Looker, whether that's the solution, but maybe also Marketing Console will offer that in the future. So like I think for the very near future, obviously, we'd like to do things more smarter, but we also have to stay true to our brand values. Like, I cannot say, like, a shower foam for you is 10 euro and for you it's 12, like you can do with airplane tickets. But we can do a lot that's not that aggressive. Thank you.
Thank you, Amber. Well, seeing as we won't be having a live Q&A, we thought we'd end it with an exit question. What is an example of an interesting customer experience that Waitrose have been able to provide by building and using BigQuery as their data warehouse?
There are many, but like for me, I think an interesting one is, it isn't live yet, but it's my ambition. One of the data sources that wasn't on the slide was customer care data. And actually, for next year, it's on the short list to also pull this data to BigQuery and make sure that every customer who is having like a negative interference with our brand at this point, so who's having a complaint, will be excluded for all online advertising, so not to bother this person.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Amber. And now I'd like to invite Guy and Andy onto the stage from Waitrose, who will share a little bit about how they're supercharging their messaging with Google Cloud.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right. Hi. Well, my name is Guy Hancock. I'm the Insight Manager, Analytics and Insight Manager for Waitrose.
I'm Andy, and I look after the marketing platform and marketing technology for Guy at Waitrose.
So, as I'm sure most of you know, Waitrose is the food arm of the John Lewis Partnership. We've got over 300 UK branches, and for those of you from overseas, we sell posh food to posh people. The fastest growing channels that we have are the digital ones, the website, the app, high street stores. Growth is hard to come by, but the digital channels in Waitrose are a success story for the last few years. So we're happy to have played our part in that. The background to what we're going to talk about today is that the business objectives that we were aiming to solve for were to find the right audience. Key to that was to break down the kind of siloed view that Waitrose typically had, with online teams looking at online data, offline teams looking at offline data. We wanted to get those two data sets into one place so that we could find our right audiences based on the holistic spend, because even our best online customers still go into stores regularly. So, and we know that the first step to achieving relevance is to know your customer. So we needed that total 360 view of a customer's food purchasing habits. Obviously, we wanted to bring that together into Google Cloud. That was the logical place to put it, given the scale of the data and given that Waitrose and John Lewis partnership, as other people have already said, have taken the strategic decision to align and use Google's products. That would give us the power to not only store the amount of data we needed, but also to process it and recalibrate every night which customers belong to which sectors, because obviously in the food market, our customers come into the stores and buy online multiple times a week. So that would also allow us from the cloud to keep it consistent across multiple digital touchpoints. And driving the relevant message was the key outcome that we wanted to achieve from all of that, and prove what the uplift was, prove that relevance of message had a business benefit to the company. And yes, obviously the holistic view of the customer's online, offline spend was key within that. So,
thank you very much. So we're going to talk to you about what we built using Google Cloud, and we're going to go into a little bit of the detail. And some of what we're here to say is very similar to what Atul and Amber and Kimberly have been saying to you this afternoon. But I can tell you exactly what we did. So before we had Google Cloud, what would happen is marketing would need a campaign. And in order to get information on who to target, they would contact our friends in the Insight team, who would bring their data together using SAS and Teradata, export a spreadsheet, manually upload some of the information from that spreadsheet into the likes of Google Ads, and we would be looking at bespoke audiences for each different campaign. So that's sort of okay. It sort of works. You've got a very human process, and so it takes quite a long time. And what do you do about day-to-day ongoing marketing? So that left us with a bit of a dilemma. So what we did is, first of all, as Guy was saying, we set up a feed of our in-store sales data from IT. So our IT team were able to build us a feed that drops every day the day's in-store transactions into Google Cloud. We then ingest that, we ETL it, we get it into BigQuery, we have a table of in-store sales data. Our analytics data from Google Analytics 360 was already in there. That was nice and easy. We combined data sets together in Google Cloud, and we created audiences using that data with our technology partner, SYNTASA. We were able to then push those audiences into Google Analytics 360 as an activation point. We also have an ambition to do more of that, which I shall get onto in a moment. And then once it's in GA360 as a dimension, we're able to go into the audiences section of GA360, write a little regex to extract a particular audience, and then publish that audience into Google Ads. Now, so what we built in diagrammatic terms looks like this. So the first thing to understand is that we needed to have an engine for understanding customers, and that's where SYNTASA really helped us. We needed an engine for activating customer segments automatically. So I mentioned ongoing day-to-day marketing. The idea of this is that suppose we know that a customer is a vegan. We know that they never buy meat and dairy products from us, so we've got a pretty good idea that they're a vegan. We can suppress any meat and dairy images from the marketing that they get. We can tailor the marketing that they get. Take, for example, an Easter campaign. We might email most people with chocolate eggs, but for our people who we know are vegans, we substitute the image. We'll have a chocolate alternative that's vegan-friendly. So the segments that we have are up to date every day. So SYNTASA is every night rescoring those segments. So to take that example, if we're looking at our big spending customer group, and I'm not in that group, today I go home, on my way home, I go into a Waitrose, I spend a load of money on my credit card, go crazy, buy a load of champagne. That might put me in the big spender group. So by tomorrow, I'm getting marketing for big spenders. So we're doing this automatically every day, and that way we're being much more relevant to people on an ongoing basis. And then that information reaches all of Google Marketing Platform for activation. So SYNTASA have helped us connect those segments into Google Marketing Platform. Before I talked about Google Ads, this means not just ads, but display and video 360 and all the rest of it, as you guys are probably familiar with. So we also connected to Salesforce Marketing Cloud for sending emails. And we have an on-site personalization, currently Monetize, and the system connects to that as well. So what that gives us is consistency. And should we recognize that vegan customer, we can do something for them in terms of marketing, we can tailor their on-site experience, we can send them emails. All of our key communication touchpoints are then hinged off this central personalization engine. And the other thing to say about this is it's all modular. So should we decide as a business to replace Salesforce Marketing Cloud with something else that sends emails, it will still work. So that's helped us secure investment because we're not saying this is one giant ecosystem. It's more of a modular setup, so that any of these inputs, any of these outputs can be replaced, and it will still work. So,
cool.
In summary.
So, in summary, we've joined that online-offline transactional data. Previously siloed in different systems. We've created a rule-based segmentation, so we've got away from doing bespoke extracts for bespoke campaigns. This is an always-on campaign that runs 365 days a year. We've deployed that processing engine, so it's all fully automated in terms of ingestion and rescoring overnight every night. And we've connected those segments, again, automatically into Google Marketing Platform. The benefits, the key benefits that we're able to play back to the business now are that those segments are accurate all the time, unlike the previous campaigns. That means that the relevance is consistent every single day to whatever the customer is spending, whether that is trending up or down. It's available in a marketing platform automatically. Again, no manual shifting of audiences in Excel. And the other key thing is there's a clear roadmap for this. There are more marketing platforms that we can connect this into. So in terms of the story that we've played back to the business, there's a series of tangible, demonstrable business benefits, all of which have pound signs attached. And speaking of results, the three killer numbers that we have put out internally are these. The online return on ad spend has gone up 11% compared to the unpersonalized campaigns that were running in the background. And bear in mind, this is a fairly short campaign. This is the first one we've done. The in-store spend, so a lot of the channel that we used was Google Shopping. We know that a lot of our customers searching for items are not necessarily going to go and buy that on the website. They're going to go into a shop. They're researching a product for a recipe or whatever it is, and no great surprise, we know that digital activation can drive in-store sales. This personalization drove an extra 2% in terms of that in-store sales figure. And given that 95% of our sales are still in the store, that's actually the bigger number in this overall thing in terms of pounds. And in terms of click-through rate, we saw our click-through rate go up from 0.9 to 1.4%, so 0.5% increase, which all of which...
In relative terms, is massive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So for those of you who have to worry about click-through rate, that is massive. For those of you who don't understand, don't deal with click-through rate, that is massive. So, Andy.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to take a moment to talk about the future of what we do now that we've achieved this milestone. But to Guy's point there, this quote is something that I really like. The secret of successful retailing is to give your customers what they want, and that's all we're doing. We haven't really broken new ground in terms of what we're servicing to customers. We're just making sure that what our customers see is relevant. So thank you, Sam Walton, for that quote. Give your customers what they want. Anyway, so the next phase of our journey is this. So we talked about how we've got our online and offline sales together. The next thing will be, to a point that Amber was making, our call center information to go into there as well. Because wouldn't it be nice if, when we are communicating with you, we know that you've had a late delivery last time, and that this time we're going to make it so we're darn sure that we are on time. Wouldn't it be nice if we know that you'd filled in a survey that said, I had a problem with the checkout, I couldn't put in my credit card information. We've seen that, we've done something about it automatically, and we've analyzed that information, and we've been able to make some changes. So the next phase of our journey, more data sources, that will let us have a richer understanding of our customers. We can output that information to more places and personalize better. So one of the things we want to do is our van drivers who bring the groceries to your house have a handset. If the handset says the last 2 times this guy had a delivery, it was late, be there on time this time, that driver's got much more information that he can then use to personalize your experience. Equally, he may know that the last van driver who turned up last week was someone else, left some chocolate for you to try, and he can say to you, it says here that Brian left you some chocolate last week. How did you find it? And then you can, it's much more of a personal experience, it's much more of a Waitrose-like experience, but it's happening in digital, and it's powered by Google Cloud. And so, yeah, we've achieved so much thanks to our technology partner, SYNTASA, for helping us do this, some of the guys in the audience today. And we will be using them, in theory, to connect out to, as we said before, Salesforce, to our website, which is built on AWS. AWS has a personalization engine. These segments that we're talking about will connect into that. And then also potentially our van drivers and other tools and technology.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Cool. So I hope that was helpful to everybody. As I say, we are wedded to the Google stack, and we're fortunate in that we were able to talk about a Google Analytics and Google Marketing Platform stack, but we are definitely heading in a Google stack direction and keeping it that way.
Welcome, Kimberly.
Yeah, thank you both very much. We do have an exit question for you. What are 1 or 2 key learnings that you would suggest or that you would be willing to share to the audience who wants to embark on this type of transformation in terms of personalization within your marketing?
Should I take that? Do you want to take it?
Oh, I think we've started small. You know, what we're talking about here is a single campaign that we've run as a proof of concept. We've taken a known problem, which is audiences only being delivered occasionally for personalized campaigns, and we've kind of sold it to the business as a let's try this, let's demonstrate the business benefit in numerical terms. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely key. This is a solution that can, as we saw, reach many customer touchpoints. And Amber had a better diagram than we did, in fairness, of all the different things that you could do. But the key is to target maybe 1 or 2, and to start working with 1 or 2 of those, make those work, show the business benefit, as Guy said, and then you can expand. Because if you try and do everything at once, especially in a big business like ours, it's quite likely to grind to a halt in the way that things do in a big business. So yeah, I'd recommend that you absolutely go after 1 or 2 of those touch points, make it work, and then expand.
Great.
That would be my recommendation.
Thank you both very, very much for joining us.
Cool, no problem.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And really thank you to all of our speakers, Amber, Guy, Andy, Atul. And thank you to everyone here who joined us today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the email that's on the screen. And I think it's actually pretty cool. We got a G.co link shortener made for our site on the cloud website, which will take you to some of the things we discussed today. And also, please, if you have any questions for us after today's session, I was told by our bosses back there, if you can meet us behind that barricade, that would be greatly appreciated. But we definitely look forward to chatting with you. And as always, we love feedback here from our customers. So please go to your Next 19 UK app and rate us. And hope to see you out in the expo. And thank you all very, very much for staying around and joining our session today. Have a good afternoon.